I'm here tonight to bring you good news. After I had collected quite a few boxes of information in order to write this book that Mary had asked me to write, she told me one day that I'd be receiving in the mail a photograph in a couple of days that was going to be, if not the most important photograph on the earth, one of the most important photographs. She said that this photograph was going to be instrumental in helping to heal people of all faiths throughout the world, people of all ages, backgrounds, and cultures, and that I should not toss it aside. I should not think that the letter coming from the individual accompanying the picture was a crank letter. I should read it several times. I should meditate on the whole situation and consider putting it in this book. When the photograph arrived, it was a picture of Sathya Sai Baba, the planetary avatar, holding up a golden egg. The letter came with the picture a few days later, and the letter said, "Hello, I've seen you on a videotape in London. My name is Dr. Dorai Singham. I am a physician. I want you to know that I was inspired by Sai Baba to send you this photograph and to let you know, in case you don't have a copy of this, that Sai Baba had himself photographed holding up this golden egg recently and said that wherever this photograph resides, there will be miracles. That if people have it in their briefcase, they will find that they will be getting new jobs. Their finances will improve. If they have it in their homes, then healings will happen. There will be resurrections from the dead, as it were, with this photograph. That it will prevent accidents. It will protect people." And I thought, well, now this is a bit extreme, that a photograph could do all this. Now really, we know that we are the I Am Presence, so what is all this about a photograph? Surely this man is deluded. But Mary had said, pay attention, don't cast it aside, be patient, just meditate on this, and it will become clear to you what to do with it. Well, I read the letter over and over and over. This Dr. Dorai Singham explained that he had had a strong feeling he should go to India and get one of these pictures. When he finally got the picture, he received it 5 minutes before he came around the corner with the photograph in his hand and came upon a dead 7-year-old child lying in the road who had just been killed in a car wreck. As he came upon this child, he thought, I heard that this photo is to be used in resurrections. He ran over to the child, he put the photograph on the child, and he asked God to please revive the child. He checked the child for vital signs. The child was completely dead. After about 5 minutes, the child suddenly was resurrected, sat up a little dazed in the man's lap. The man said, "We must take this child to the hospital." They had him examined. The doctor said, "Seems impossible. He was dead. He seems like a very healthy 7-year-old child." They asked Sai Baba in darshan the very next day when Sai Baba comes out to greet the crowds whether or not he had been dead, and Sai Baba said yes. And he said, and so he was resurrected through your energy, through this picture? And he said, yes, that's right. This is the first of many resurrections and many healings. Now, Sai Baba has resurrected 10 people from the dead in public. I have met one of them, and I know of many others. Sai Baba says that although we are not God who created the universe, we are divine. We are God, but we don't know it. We are awakening to our divinity. I know this sounds blasphemous, and some people will feel that this is absolutely preposterous. But just as your own father's and mother's blood flows in your veins, the divinity of your Father, Mother, God is also resident within you.
Through the streets of old, of what I used to know, and everything I was before. I'd hope to feel the grass, the garden of my past.
I had no idea that this picture was going to be figuring so strongly in my life. It has been so much fun my whole life, but it's getting more fun every moment. Every day, I can hardly wait to get up and see what's going to happen next. By that I mean that the surprises, the profound, strong, powerful, and unusual things that are occurring are such I wouldn't believe them unless they were happening to me. If anybody told me that all these things were transpiring in their lives, I would think, well, this person is either a pathological liar or exaggerating profoundly, or there's something very wrong here. But what I know now is that when miracles are not happening in our lives, there's something wrong. When we live in the heart, when we keep looking at all that doesn't belong in our thoughts, when we're willing to be happy, when we're willing to let go of our drama and trauma and all of our garbage, it is sweet, sweet, sweet. And so is everyone that we encounter. We see the sweetness of people. We see the beauty and the love, the God presence shining out in all these gorgeous hearts that are surrounding us, that have tried to love us our whole lives when we were too busy or too blind or too stubborn or too defended or too shut down to see their love or feel their love or feel the love that we are. After I wrote the book, mail started coming in, to my great surprise. People started writing letters, emailing us, sending faxes saying, just wanted you to know we really like that book, but the thing is, we have had a healing in our family, or we've had several healings. We'd just like to let you know the following things. One woman wrote from Maryland, Karen Gill, to say that her 17-year-old beautiful daughter had had scrofulous eczema her whole life, under her arms and on her face and neck. It was extremely uncomfortable and embarrassing. So Karen was reading the book and thought, it says here that this Sai Baba picture does miracles. Let's just try it out right now. So she told her daughter, come over here. We're just going to try this out. She plopped the book right on her daughter's head, and immediately they heard a voice coming out of the room that said, take this child off dairy products right away, and this eczema will disappear. They did, and it did. Another person made a laminated cover for this picture and pinned it inside her pajamas, and her fibromyalgia was healed. She said, I had to turn off the light first because my husband wouldn't understand why I was putting another man's picture on my pajamas. I said, I know what you mean. You have to be very discerning about these kinds of things. Now, another person pinned it on the front of her shirt. She had heart problems and was not able to get out of bed and walk across the room. She put the picture on her PJs, and pretty soon she could walk around the house, and then next thing she knew, she could walk down to the mailbox. Next thing she knew, she could walk several blocks and around the lake, and then pretty soon she didn't need the picture, and she's fine now. People have healed allergies, all sorts of physical, mental, and emotional maladies. People have won new job contracts. They've used it for interviews by putting their application papers on top of the picture. They've stopped family fights by setting the picture on top of pictures of all the people in the family. I have a friend who's a musician. He was driving down the road one day with the picture in the seat beside him. His car broke down, and he thought, oh no, I'm on the freeway. What am I going to do? So then he remembered the picture and thought, aha, we're going to try this out right now. I don't know, this is not a resurrection or a healing situation, but this car needs healing right now. So he got out of the car, lifted the hood, and put the book and the picture right on there and said, God, you know I'm a musician, I'm not a mechanic, and I don't have money for a mechanic, so please, would you just do your thing on my engine here? And so he said, I don't even know the names of all these things inside the hood, but just please do it. Trusting the energy would go to the right part, and it would just work fine, which it did. So then he felt, feels like it's done it. And so then he put the hood down, turned the key on, it started up perfectly, and has worked perfectly since. Now, another person told me that she had had a mountain cabin that had frozen pipes. She heard about this picture, got a copy, said, Lord, you know, I can't afford a plumber. You're going to have to do it on my pipes here, so would you just please do whatever it is? Well, she put it on the back of her toilet, and it worked perfectly. Also, if you've had a running John that just won't stop running, I've done this twice, it works perfectly. Just set it right on there and just say your prayer, and it heals it. Now, I know this is extraordinary. I know you scientists, I know you think I really slipped away from the doc, but I don't care about that. I don't care about that. This gives you an idea. Once I went to a retreat in Oregon. There were 100 people there. And there was a fellow in the back row standing against the wall. After I began the talk, it occurred to me people had no idea what I was talking about. I was talking about Sai Baba's Lingam photo, you know, the one where he's holding up the golden egg, you know, the one that is called in Sanskrit Hiranyagarbha Lingam, which means the golden heart of all people. It means the cosmic seed of creation. You know that one? No, blank stares. So I said, oh, okay, it's this one. It's this one right here. See this picture? You should all get a copy of this picture if you can, and then you can keep it with you in your house, your office, your car, in your briefcase, and just play around with it. Have fun, experiment, see what happens. So just panned it across the audience like that. At the end of the talk, 3 people came up. They were really big-eyed, eyes popping, in fact, standing in front of me. One woman said, I have a PhD in psychology. Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. I was sitting in the front row on the floor. When you pan the audience with that picture, all of a sudden an arc of blue light came, hit me in the chest, and knocked me over, and it was a wonderful feeling. The woman standing beside her said, I have an international business. I am not an airhead. The same thing happened to me. What is this? I said, I have no idea. This is not my business. That's between you and God. I don't know. It's never happened before. I'm thinking, this is a very highly imaginative audience. The next thing that happened was, a fellow came walking up and he said, look at my hand. And he held his hand out like that. I said, yes. Look at my hand. I was on my way to hand surgery. I am a landscaper. Yesterday, a Rottweiler dog attacked me and laid my hand open. It was a scrofulous, suppurating mess. It was starting to develop red lines. I thought I was about to get blood poisoning. I was on my way to hand surgery, and someone said, why don't you just stop in and hear Connie's talk and sing a few songs, and then you'll just be sort of buoyed up and heartened for your hand surgery. He thought, that's a good idea. I'll be in a good mood, and then when they give me the anesthetic and all that they're going to do, I won't feel it. So he said, well, when you pan the audience with that picture, all of a sudden this arc of blue light flew across the room, and I was as far from you as anybody could be. It hit my hand, and my hand is healed. And I thought, oh, sure, sure, it's healed. And I thought, well, he was just exaggerating his injury. I'm sure it was probably like a little scratch or something. Who knows? Well, the ego mind comes forward because in our culture, we are taught to immediately dismiss such things. Immediately, the rational mind is dominant. The rational mind gives us a feeling of comfort and control and security, that everything is right in this world that we've created with our projections. Everything is just the way we want it. We had to let go of all those thoughts. Next, we received letters from 2 women from Texas. They were actually from San Antonio, Texas. They said individually in their letters that they were 40 years old. They had seen this book on their mother's coffee table, the mother of one of the women, and asked what it was. And she said, oh, that's my friend Connie Shaw. See this picture in here? This is Sai Baba. He's God. He is the highest embodiment of divinity on the planet. He created the entire universe. He was Lord Krishna. He was Lord Rama. He's the father of Jesus, the father of us all. They said, what? Mom, we're Methodists. And she said, yes, I know, dear, but that you asked me what this is about, this is what it's about. And they said, well, what's Sai Baba doing in there with the messages by Mother Mary? Well, Sai Baba's her father, too. They said, Mom, come on. She said, well, look, I see you're interested. If you want to read it, you can. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. They said, well, gosh, if this is true, this is the biggest news of the 20th century. They took the book home. They read it. Both of them wanted to bear a child. Their biological clocks were just about all ticked out, as they said, because they were 40 years old and they wanted to have a healthy child, no problems. One of them had endometriosis, had been told, forget having a baby. It is impossible. You're not going to do this. Let it go. She said, I'm not letting it go. I believe in miracles. The other one's husband had had a vasectomy. He'd had it checked twice. It worked. And all the parties were faithful to their spouses. They wrote a letter saying that they went to their local Methodist church. They asked the Methodist minister if they could have a little side room while the Sunday school class was meeting. And they said, God, if it's true that something profound and wonderful can be brought about by our putting this photograph on our abdomens, please help us. Please give us a child. Please give us a miracle. 9 months later, they both delivered healthy, happy baby boys when the doctor said it was quite impossible. Now, you can imagine my reactions to all this. Infertile women are having children by putting this picture on their abdomens. Oh my goodness.
Show me how you do that trick, the one that makes me scream. as angels, dancing in the deepest ocean, twisting in the water, just like a dream. You're just like a dream.
Lost and lonely, you just like